Okay, guys, so what I always suggest people do whenever they're working in Fusion is to start off by saving their work. If you haven't already created a folder in your data panel, so just clicking on this bar here, Show Data Panel, that shows your projects. It'll have your name at the top, any projects that you've created, and the option to create a new project. So let's assume I haven't created a project for this. So I'm going to click on here and I'm going to call it my name, so John Wilson, and I'm going to call it Year 8 Frame. Oops, sorry, let's just put a little space in there. Year 8 Frame. Okay. So that's going to save as a project, and I'm going to make sure that the work that I'm doing and I'm saving goes into that folder. If I want to hide this bar, again, just click on the cross. If I want to open it, just click on the Show Data panel. Okay. Generally, I keep it closed because if this is open, it's taking up, well, almost a third of the page, isn't it? So I keep it closed unless I particularly need to be going in there. So once I've got the folder, I can save into that folder. So I'm going to click Save on here. You can see in the location, well, it's not going into that folder. So I'm going to have to click down here. And then I'm going to have to find the one that's called John Wilson Year 8 Project. Year 8 Frame. He says, there it is, John Wilson, Year 8 Frame. There's nothing in there at the moment, obviously, because I've just created it, and I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it John Wilson Y8 Photo Frame, which is similar, obviously, to the name of the folder, but that's okay, and just click Save. Okay, so there we are. Now we can get started. So to start our drawing, we're going to first of all just draw some lines. So I'm going to come into the sketch panel and click click line, or I could just press L on my keyboard. As soon as I do that, my three planes appear. Okay, this is our plan view, this is a side, and this is a front. Okay, this is a front and this is a side. We're going to draw it on our front view here. So I'm going to click that panel. All right. Now, having clicked that, it's going to give me an origin. And I'm going to start my line on that origin and just drag it out towards the right, but straight or flat rather, at horizontal or no degrees. You can see I've got two boxes that are changing as I drag on my touchpad. One says how long the line is, that's the one highlighted in blue. In other words, that's the active dimension. And the other one is giving me degrees. But if I pop it down there onto 0 degrees and I just type in the length that I want, which is not 37.560, it's 35. And I can press enter to lock that in place. Once I've got that locked in place, I'm going to click L again on my keyboard, and I'm going to draw a line this time with a height. And again, you see I've got two boxes. I've got a dimension or length, and I've got an angle. I'm going to type the dimension to be 105, and then I'm going to press Tab on my keyboard, and you can see that the box that now goes blue is the one with the angle, and I'm going to put into there 110. Okay, so there you are. So now we've got two lines. We've got a line across the bottom, which was just 35 millimeters long and was horizontal. And now we've got a line that is 105 millimeters long and is at an angle of 110 degrees. Okay. Now, I'm going to just do something that sometimes is not a good idea, but in this case I think would be helpful. And that is I'm going to take away some of these lines so we don't get too confused over what we're looking at. So I'm going to click on that line, it goes blue, and I press delete. I'm going to click on that line, I press delete, and there you go. Now this line I've just left for a moment, but even that I'm going to delete in a minute when I've just done this next bit. I'm going to zoom in now really, really tight on this top of our line. Okay, and then I'm going to press L again, and then I want to pull a line that is at the same angle, and you'll see that it's kind of clicking, it's snapping onto that line to help me do that and keep that angle at 160 degrees. Okay. The line doesn't want to be very long. I'm only going to make it 1.5, which is pretty tiny, and then I'm going to click enter to lock it in place. Now, if I zoom out, that's so small that a sort of normal view, you'd struggle even to see it. I'm going to get rid of that line now, because that served its purpose, and I'm even going to get rid of this tiny little line at the top. Okay, and sometimes this is really not a good thing to do, but I think in this case it will just help clean things up so you can see what you've got. So we've got our lines here and here and our tiny little line at the top. All right, now we're going to zoom right back in on that top view, that top part there. So I'm using the zoom and the pan, and then I'm going to press L again. And then I'm going to click a line, and this line, can you see it's giving me that little right angled box. It should be at 70 degrees, okay? So I don't need to drag it that far. I'm just going to type in the measurement. The measurement is going to be 90, and then I'm going to press enter. And when you've done that, you're then going to have 4 lines, I beg your pardon. So you're going to have a short line across the bottom, which was 35 millimeters long, a line that was 105 long at an angle of 110, a line that was 1.5 long, and finally a line that is 90 long. Okay. Once you've done that, well, I'm going to stop this tutorial here, and then we'll pick it up in the next one where we're going to look at how we curve the top and the bottom and how we make it 3D. Okay, well done.